Some people are saying Kofi Annan, Obasanjo, and so on. Is it that you professors, you moral authorities are failing in Cameroon already?
No, what we expected, the head of state, the president of this republic, if he had wanted, this problem would have been solved last time when dialogue started. It is not because some people say we want the form of state changed that he should dismiss them, arrest them, and lock them up. Then you have broken the dialogue. That is why those who are proposing that Kofi Annan or someone else initiate dialogue is because the leadership in Cameroon has failed.
All of them, you mean to say?
The president should have addressed this issue 12 months. He has not spoken one word.
So who should organize a dialogue now? And who are those who participate?
If the president is unable, the United Nations should drop in.
Professor, you are an expert in conflict resolution. You analyze conflict resolution management. What should be done now? What should be the way out of this Anglophone, what has been called the Anglophone crisis?
Let me state that for 56 years, there has been no genuine dialogue amongst Cameroonians. Fumban was not a genuine dialogue. It lasted for just 95 minutes. And the dialogue did not continue. If we come to the 90s...
But that will not take years. I think before going to Fumban, there were preparatory meetings that were organized to prepare.
The two parties had no time to genuinely accept what form of state, what reunification should be. And even if we had some supposed federal constitution which laid the basis or the foundation of today's Cameroon, that constitution was overwhelmingly abrogated, not respected. I think that is why we have a crisis. Now what we are saying is that there has been no time that Cameroonians have sat face to face to actually dialogue amongst Cameroonians as equals. Even in the 90s, during the constitutional talks, the fathers of reunification, Foncha, Mona, staged a walkout. So there was no dialogue. When the Anglophones were asked to dialogue amongst themselves and make a constitutional proposal, they did in Boya, AAC 1, and when they did, and in Bamenda, when they did give in their suggestions, they were termed as such.
So let me come back to my question. What should be done now?
What should be done now is that the history we have just narrated is important, that we've never had time to genuinely do dialogue, and this is a golden opportunity for Cameroonians to come sit eyeball to eyeball and trace where the problem is and how solutions could be arrived at. And let me say that in this dialogue, the President of the Republic has the singular responsibility at this point in time to arrest the situation by coming out outrightly, addressing the people, telling the people we've heard you and we are going to provide solutions, not going to start immediate provision of the solutions to settle the grievances of these people. In that dialogue, it should be a roundtable dialogue, not the top-bottom approach that we are used to, not the arrogance that is characterized governance in this country. In this slide, I think calling people to order who are injecting fire, petrol on the burning fire. In this dialogue, it is not, people have been able to talk about a national dialogue. No, I think I have reservation for what is called national dialogue. If the dialogue is national, it means it's going to get people from all walks of life, from all regions.
21 million, 22 million Cameroonians come and sit on the round table.
That's not my interpretation. I'm saying that it means that the Bororos will come with their problem, the Bassas come with their problems, the Hausas, everybody comes with a problem, and we come and say national dialogue. This national dialogue is important, but not at this given point in time. For now, the dialogue should be amongst government or between government and the Anglophone leadership, because the international law considers Cameroon to be made up of two peoples. So the dialogue should be between these two peoples, that is the Anglophones and the leaders of the
English-speaking zone. Yes. Let's get this point. You have been observing too that in this struggle, many people don't even recognize the leadership of these English-speaking zones. They have asked MPs to resign and go back home. If we still have that way of thinking, do you think that dialogue you're talking of, calling everybody to come and sit on the table, or the leaders would really work? Who would be that leader?
I want to say, in all fairness, that the Anglophones can choose their leaders. I think I suggest that the government should encourage some sort of AC5, where people will not be teleguided, where people will not buy it again, so that they come out who should advocate. It is not an issue, because people have been able to say, journalists, I mean, some of your have said things have been, the players have been solved. No, we are not them. The teachers and the lawyers. That's why we insist that it should be taken politically, ethically, socioculturally.
Okay, thank you.
And this is a constitutional problem. And we are asking, who are those to represent the Anglophone community? First of all, when they came out, the whole the two regions, everyone, over 2 million people, who asked them to come out? Everywhere at the same time, there is a leadership. Well, even including those who are still being detained, those who were in the consortium that was disbanded, those who are in diaspora.
They should be brought in to go. Yes. I think we're moving to the end of the program. Just a few seconds, sir.
No, I was going to say, because you are...
just a few seconds, because we're almost ending.
There are two issues. When you bring people to the table, I had proposed the UN or President Biya to take the initiative, or the AU, I may ask at the AU. When the discussions have been done, Anglophones of the Northwest and Southwest region should vote in a referendum as they voted in the plebiscite.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Seconds to conclude, please.
Yes, I think the first thing is that, which is very important, the President of the Republic overtly acknowledged that there's a problem. Every Cameroonian should know that there's a problem and start providing solutions too. I think that one of the immediate things should be that all the police brutality, the harassment should be stopped with immediate effect. The President should talk to the people, acknowledge the problem, and start providing solutions. And of course, dialogue should be concrete. The outcome of this dialogue should be inclusive. It should be decent to the both parties who are engaged in the dialogue. Because if there is no consultation, if there is no decency in the outcome of the dialogue, there can be no sustainability. So we think that frank dialogue should be engaged now. And the President of the Republic, I insist, acknowledged the problem. He started giving some elements of a solution. And I have often said that the current crisis in Cameroon is of human creation. Cameroonians created the problem because of the non-respect of the constitution, and we have often said that there is no problem created by human beings which cannot be resolved if they want to resolve the problem. So we need political will to resolve this crisis.
40 seconds, Jobati Joseph.
If I may say it this way, President Paul Biya should get up and feel like the father of this nation and say, if you are feeling pains on your leg, it replicates, part of the body is feeling pains, it means your whole body is in pain. The Anglophone regions are in pain. What does it cost President Paul Biya, like the president of this nation, to get up one day and say, okay, let me go see those people up there who are agitating. What is their problem? Is he tied down there in a to be cannot move in this country? As simple as
Thank you very much, Joe. The government is not one. President Paul Biya is leaving a government and there has so many wings. I think so. The Prime Minister has been there. The ministers have been there to represent him. We are not going to prepare his agenda. Thank you very much, Professor Kijiga Fanso, Professor Willibert Zengwa, and Jobati Joseph for coming. Moki, Edwin Kinzaka, in Yaoundé.
Les faits majeurs de la semaine, revisités par des journalistes de poids, des positions éditoriales passées au crible, des experts de haut vol qui vous éclairent, qui nous éclairent de leur science. C'est tous les dimanches après le téléjournal en langue française. 52 minutes pour décrypter l'actualité. La politique, l'économie, le sport, les faits de société, les relations internationales sont déroulés en toute liberté. Le débat 2004 sur la CRTV, ces scènes de presse. Soyez des nôtres.